Oh, that didn't work.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Megan Jacquier, a life coach with a passion for design that I share with you guys, blending personal development and DIY. So if that sounds like your thing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. Today, I wanted to show off to you guys our secret door that we put in when we were finishing the basement. But I have a confession. We didn't really finish the door. We finished the outside. From here, it's been looking great. But inside, not so much. So today we're gonna talk about not only finishing this project and this door, but also what to do when your plans need to shift around a little bit, because plan A is not gonna work. Okay, so we've established this wall is awesome. That's just undeniable fact. Let me show you what's not so awesome. This hidden door, also awesome, extremely awesome, but the finishing on it, I mean, really the question is what finishing, right? It very clearly was left undone. We've obviously got to finish off this drywall, finish off this wood, and cover up this section. We've got to do the same over here. And then after we do all of that, we've got to get this floor piece in. So, and then we can put down the transition piece and then we're good. All that being said, we clearly have some work ahead of us. It's so easy to just like close a door on your problem areas sometimes. And that's what we've been doing since we finished the wall in November. It's July now. So for 9 months, we've been closing the door on this problem, but no more. Decided today is the day that I tackle it. Okay, just want to tell you what I'm doing. Sorry again, the lighting in here is just gonna be bad all video. Okay, so anyway, I have a plan for the wood. I don't totally know what's going to work, but I am going to try to put some brown paper over it with some adhesive and then paint on top of that. So I'm not too worried about the wood. I'm just trying to get a smooth surface to adhere to. So basically all this rough drywall, I'm just kind of smoothing over with just some spackling. It really doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be better than it is. That's always the goal, right? Perfection, it's not gonna happen, but we're gonna go for better than it currently is. Moving on to the next stage in here. So it's been plenty of time, so this is all dry. But what we're gonna do now is up here, how rough the edge is. Before we attach any of the paper, I wanna sand that down so that's all smooth, and like some of this and stuff too. So we're dealing with a smoother surface. So let's get into it. My DIY partner for the day. Hi, Lucy Goose. Okay, so things are looking good over here, if you can say that. I'm like kind of second guessing myself. So let's tape these off. Oh, guys, I really don't know. Let me get Gabriel down here to ask his opinion. Gab's about to come down. Let me walk you through what I'm thinking, and then I will show it to him and we'll decide together. So basically, yes, this is what we're dealing with. So you can see like the wood is pretty rough. It's got these like divots and stuff in it. It's got a big crack. It was already pretty rough. You guys know I sanded it, but like there's still some holes. That's okay. I wasn't too worried about that when I'm covering it with paper, like spraying on the spray case and covering it with paper. However, I just think with the sheer amount of like, we have to work around all of these, that wire up here. So I just feel like there's a lot of little things to work around. Am I better off filling all these dents to the best of my ability, smoothing things out, and just painting everything black? Let's see what Gabriel has to say, because he's a good problem solver. As I tell my son, we are a problem-solving family. All right, so it's confirmed. We're gonna switch tack. We are going to fill all the divots and cracks and stuff with joint compound or spackle or something. We have many options. I'll go see what we have. And wait for that to dry and then paint that. So that's what I'm gonna go do. I think we have plenty. Got one of these. Actually, it's looking pretty good. I might touch up just like a few spots, and then the top still needs to dry, so I have to sand that later. Here we are again. Just welcome to my tidy little corner. So the drywall mud dried overnight, sanded everything down, wiped everything down. We are ready to get some primer on. Okay, so I guess I didn't sand the top, and I probably still need to put more mud up there, but whatever guys, I'm moving forward. All right, here is the primer I'm using. All right, so I am moving on to the second coat on all of this. I just hand brushed it the first time, and I still will on some of like the little tricky spots around the hinges, but I am also going to use a foam roller. And I got this foam roller, I should have just like arranged this better so I'm not like, hi. Anyway, I got this foam roller wet and I squeezed it out first. So it has like, basically that prevents the foam roller from having uneven absorption as you like roll it into the paint. The first part and being more adept at reacting to change, or when you need to change, is being flexible. That is honestly one of the key tokens of mental health. So there are a couple, I think, key components to being flexible. The first is taking the time that you need to keep your cool. Sometimes you might need to step away from a situation for a little bit, take 10 minutes, a walk around the block, a day, a week, however long you need to kind of reassess and get on board with unmet expectations, because that's going to be a part of life. And part of that is acknowledging when you're disappointed. It's okay to be disappointed when your expectations aren't met. But what's not helpful is holding on to those expectations when it's clear that they are not going to line up with reality. Move on to the next step, which is problem solving. And this is actually my favorite. I don't like to stay in the negative feelings of disappointment for too long. And sometimes I just barrel right on through to actually fixing the problem, which is kind of what you saw me do right here in this video. So I think the first step to effective problem solving is to restate what your goal was. Sometimes we get lost in the details of a plan and we're not always thinking about what the actual end goal was. Then after you restate your goal, you can assess what went wrong the first time and explore other ways to meet that same goal. And the final part of problem solving is to actually determine and decide on a solve for your problem. Sometimes we start kind of brainstorming and we don't actually take that next step in making a decision. So making a decision is actually the part that builds resilience within yourself because it leads you to action. But honestly, the most important step with all of this is to just not give up. It can be so frustrating when you're trying to get something done and it's not working out. But just don't give up. Just keep trying, keep iterating, keep problem solving, and you'll figure it out eventually. And if you've already started a project, chances are it is that important to you. So it's just a matter of setting aside the time to complete it, to problem solve, to figure out what you want to do, and then actually doing it. I know you can, and remember, an extraordinary life takes a little bit of extra effort. That's all I've got for you this time. See you in the next one. Bye.